morning everyone. I am out for another test. So I'm going to be shooting black and white today with a digital camera. So I have a bunch of these filters laying around at home that you use for black and white film. So I got a yellow filter, an orange filter and a red filter. So I've been super curious to see what it looks like if you use that on film. Now it's a destructive process of course, but I thought it could be fun to see. Maybe it's something that could bring me closer to get the look that I get from when I'm actually shooting film. So let's dig into it. Let's see what it looks like. I found a nice mushroom scene. Got some fungus growing in this log here. And they are yellow, so I think that's going to create some great contrast when I'm testing the filters here. So I'm going to start with shooting one image without anything in standard mode, and then I'm switching over to monochrome. Get one there, and also going to take one in deep tone monochrome. It's going to be a lot to compare here. And then I'm going to start taking the filters on. So I go back to the standard mode and start getting the filters on. The yellow filter. So now we got to compensate. One stop, you lose our light from the yellow filter. So, and now the orange filter. With the orange filter you lose 2 stops of light, so we got to go up to 400 in total. And hit the button. And the red filter. So with the red filter you lose 3 stops of light, so we go up from 400 to 800. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. So first we have the digital filters. First monochrome, then digital yellow, and monochrome orange, and monochrome red. So it looks what I expect it to look like. And now we got the analog here. And right off the bat, I do think you get a little bit deeper tones here. But it's hard to say for sure. Let's see side by side. So the yellows looks very similar. Orange, you start to get a feeling that it gets a bit deeper, and the red, it definitely gets deeper. You get a much inkier tone here, and that's very cool. There is a difference. Let's take a look at deep tone monochrome versus analog red, and there's a huge difference. It's not just a red filter in the deep tone. I think it's something else going on as well. Here I found some ferns. Now this is good for my test because you got the green from the ferns contrasting with the orange from the leaves. So that would create some kind of separation, I think. Getting the yellow filter on. Now this is one thing where I'm so used to magnetic filters these days, and I forgot what pain it is to actually screw on filters, but there we go. And since it's a yellow filter, we lose 1 stop of light. I think it's actually 1.5 stop of light, but I'm going to go with 1 stop of light. So got to go the ISO up to 200, from 100 to 200 to compensate for that, and then click. I think adjusting the ISO is the easiest way. You can also adjust the shutter speed, but you easily go down to very low shutter speed, and I'm afraid the little bit of wind at some point when I'm shooting the red filter is going to create some blur. So I'll go with the ISO now. To me, on this camera, I have all ISOs between 100 and 1000. I treat pretty much as the same. It's not a huge difference. Let's take a look at the ferns then. First up, monochrome digital, digital yellow, and orange. It's slightly darker greens here. and digital red ever so slightly more darker greens. So let's see the analog filters. Yellow, and there things happen. Orange, the greens get very dark, and with the red it gets really dark and inky. That's nice. And side-by-side comparison here. Yellows look very similar. Orange, you start seeing the analog filters getting darker, and the red filters, the greens gets really dark there. And the deep tone monochrome versus the analog red, and it's a huge difference. Now I'm getting really curious to see what is the actual difference between a red filter and a deep tone monochrome. Okay, I'm taking the help of a Totoro here once again to set up a little bit of a scene. So I am going to shoot through the filters as I did before, and I got the yellow filter on now. And I will soon be switching to the orange and the red filter. One final example here, digital monochrome and the digital filters here coming up. And as we saw before, there's a very subtle change. I can see on the nose there, it keeps on getting brighter. The deeper red I get the filter. And let's see the analog yellow, and yeah, it's a bit different. And the orange, that's when things start to happen. That's when you get the big difference. And the red, of course, very, very deep tones. So I think shooting the yellow filters is maybe not that useful, but once you put on an orange or a red filter, that really makes a difference. And I can see myself shooting this in the future, because it does look kind of interesting. And it is a destructive process, of course, but still it can be worth it sometimes to commit to shooting black and white, like in the old days when you're shooting film. And the deep tone monochrome, it lives in a different world. It's just a different type of filter that I haven't really seen anywhere before, but I do like it. That went much better than I thought it would. I somehow imagined it would get blurry or something like that, but I can see in the black and white monochrome profile that I really get those dark tones that I was looking for. And I think this could be useful for the future. So I'm very hopeful, but I won't know for sure until I see it in Lightroom when I get back home and start tweaking around. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, why not like and subscribe? I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and that would really help me a lot. And anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you around next time. That was good.